Hello everybody, this is Yoko's Random Anime Reactions, and I just put my dinner in the oven. Or rather, it's the family's dinner as well, because it's a pizza, and I'm only gonna have, hopefully, 2 pieces. Usually I have 4 or more, depending on, who else has it. And I figured the kids could have 2 to 3 slices apiece. Not a piece, together, because Jackson will probably eat a little more than Wyatt does. And I don't even know if Wyatt's going to eat the pizza, to be completely honest with you. Because usually he'll just take all the toppings and the cheese off everything and eat that. And he won't eat the bread. Weird, but anyway, I asked my dad, do you want some of it? Because if you do, I'll just cook the whole thing, because I was only planning on cooking maybe half of it. And he said, go ahead and fix it all. And I went ahead and did it. That way, my mom could have some, my dad could have some, and if my brother got home at that time, he could have maybe a piece or 2. It works out. Anyway, this is going to be my review for Rosario plus Vampire, episode 8. I think for a second. Oh, and also, with the pizza, I'm going to have a small little salad as well. With a little bit of lettuce, with some bacon, maybe some black beans to go with it. Or maybe just some lettuce and bacon, cheese, and some ranch. That's all I'm probably going to do for that. Because I don't want to make myself too full, because the beans, anyway, I know I'm getting off topic, but I bought a can of beans to try them, because I hadn't tried them before, on, what's today, Friday? Tuesday. And I ended up finishing the can on Wednesday. I went through a whole can of black beans in a day. Probably not even a day. And those suckers are little beans. They're about the size of pinto beans. And those are... No, actually, I think they're probably smaller than pinto beans. And they taste just like them. So yeah, I went through a lot of pinto beans in that span of that time. And it's only now that I think the beans are starting to kick in, where they make you toot. And I really need to go number 2 as well, because I would rather not mention this, but I think I got a little bit of a problem with that, and I don't know if I'm constipated or I don't know if I'm constipated or what, but it's been a while since I pooped, and it's bad. Hopefully the fiber and all those beans will help. Anyway, back to the video. This episode is finals week for Skune and the others, and he is not good at math. Or at least what they're trying to learn anyway. And the teacher's not really the best person to learn from. 'Cause from what Kurumi has said, all the guys are just looking at her boobs, essentially, is all that they're doing, and that's probably why a bunch of them are failing. Because they aren't paying attention to the math, and they're just staring at the teacher's chest. Thankfully, Skune's not doing that, he's just not grasping the material. Anyway, Moko tries to offer to help tutor him, because if you if you don't get a 50 or above, I think they said it was either 50 or... You can't get below a 50, is what they're saying. So, if you do get it below a 50, you have to take the makeup classes, and they're supposed to be like boot camp from hell, essentially. So, they're trying to avoid getting those makeup classes before summer break. Anyway, Kurumu and Yukari end up going in for the tutoring as well, because Yukari can help with the tutoring, and Kurumu and Mizuri end up needing a little bit of tutoring as well, so it works out. Well, the teacher finds out about the tutoring sessions and gets ticked off about it, and says that instead of going and having her tutor him, she's going to tutor him instead in her own private tutoring room. Yeah, I had no idea what she did to him, but it didn't sound pleasant when he went in there and when it cut to the next scene. After it cut to the scene where the door, shows the door and you hear something it didn't sound pleasant. And he's essentially like a math zombie, I guess you could say, because he's kind of not in the right mind, and he's just spouting math problems or math formulas or something, and it's very creepy, and everybody's just essentially worried about him, but they're hoping that the tutoring sessions with the teacher are going well, despite the fact that he's acting very strange. And come to find out, the teacher's not happy that that Mocha's still trying to get in the way, in her way, as she put it, because she's trying to she made a notebook that had all her notes. She copied her notes by hand into a notebook for him to help him. And the teacher didn't like that and smacked her around. I'm like, that is uncalled for. You are a teacher. You do not treat a student that way. I don't care how much of a freaking narcissist you are when it comes to your teaching methods. You don't do that. And later, the teacher's acting very inappropriate towards Skune during the tutoring session. And I'm like, you are a teacher. That is inappropriate. Very inappropriate. Considering I think Skune is at this point 16? Because I'm already in season 2, and he said that he's 17 years old. So I'm assuming he's like 15, almost 16 in this point. So, yeah. You don't do that to a student. And then she goes to act like she's going to move her panties. And then we hear that same noise from before and him scream. And we find out that she's actually I thought for a second that she was a Lamia, but then I saw the end of the tail, and I was like, wait, that doesn't look like a Lamia tail. It looks like a plant head, essentially. So I was thinking, what is she if she's not a Lamia? And then they actually mentioned that she is one. I was like, oh! And I was like, how does that work with the tail, though? And yeah, she essentially is apparently a narcissist. And very passionate about her teaching, and coupled with the narcissism and her being a Lamia, it's not a very good combination. Thankfully, Skune is able to get Scary Mocha to come out, and she kicks her butt. I'm surprised that nobody reported what the teacher was doing to the director, and she didn't get fired for that. Because I don't know how different it is from monster culture, but if a teacher was doing that to a student, monster stuff aside, of course, if she was acting very inappropriate towards the students, then that's grounds for being fired right there, or at least being suspended. So, yeah, unless they turned a blind eye for this, or they didn't report it, or what, I don't know, but, yeah, I don't know how, I think Skune got a 89, because it showed a paper with an 89 on it, and Yukari got 100, and Mizuri got, a 56? So she passed, but barely. And didn't get to see what Kurumu got, but apparently she failed. So she's got to take the makeup classes. Oh god, I feel bad for her. And Mocha, I assume, did well, as well, because she's not complaining about it. So I assume the 89 is either him or Mocha. I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, I don't know if you guys would agree with me on this, but I don't agree with how a teacher does that to a student, or student, if you count Mocha, what she did to Mocha as well. You don't do that to a student. That's not right. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna try and get this up, and then when the pizza's done, I'll cut that up and get a couple pieces. I make myself a salad. Because, like I said, I am trying to, still eat the foods I like. It's just a lot less, and with something healthy on the side, like with the pizza. I tried to make nachos a little bit healthier, but I didn't have the rice or the guacamole to go on it, so it wasn't as healthy as I wanted it to be. And I could have possibly gone with jalapenos on it too, but only if they're diced up, how people dice up peppers and stuff. Only if it's like that, because I don't know how well that would go, to be completely honest. But anyway, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and thank you for whoever subscribed, because your username is Japanese or something, and I don't know what it means, but thank you for subscribing. If you watched this far, then kudos to you, because hardly anybody watches this far into the videos. But if you have, and you haven't already subscribed, I'd recommend doing so, because I've already started on season 2 of this show. I've already finished uploading for Ari for the time being. I'm going to try and work on Hellsing Ultimate once I get a chance, because I have to close tomorrow, but I'm off on Sunday, but I'm going to hopefully spend time with Travis that day. So it'll have to wait until I get a day off on the weekday. Oh, God. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get anything done on Thursday or Friday, guys. I'm going to have to watch the kids those days, so I won't even probably be able to do much except for uploading, these videos. But here's hoping it goes well, guys. Hopefully they won't drive me up the wall baddie. I'll see you guys next time.